She's saying, the ring would know. Oh my God, I wish HBO would have released 3 episodes because this is some bullshit. Episode 1 of Lanterns, in my opinion, is a perfect pilot. From the performances to the VFX to just character dynamics, setting up the stakes, kind of hinted at why they are the way that they are while opening the door to figure out more about them and figuring out more about the mystery that is unfolding. Everything across the board is just perfectly executed. We follow Hal and John, and there is something going on in Rushville. We meet a family called the McCone family, and seemingly they run this freaking town with an iron fist, and they have their own militia, and we kind of get the hint that the kind of xenophobic. They don't like aliens. If it ain't born here, we don't want it here. Something along those lines. He said something along those lines. So the leader of the family, he said something very interesting. He says, oh, well, this isn't my land. I'm just its caretaker. So now I'm wondering who he's watching that land for. The VFX in this show are outstanding. The way that they bring the constructs to life, they look so much better than they looked in Superman. I don't know why that is, and I hope it's adopted for future projects. It is so difficult for an actor to portray a character in one timeline, let alone 3 distinct timelines, and actually make them feel very different from one another, and they do it so well. You can tell that this version of this character did not experience what this version of this character experienced. There is a version of Hal Jordan that comes out of the ring as a construct. If he were to die, he would talk to the next holder of the ring, and Hal has not uploaded in 10 years because that version of him is from 2006, and that is more in line with the comic book version of Hal. The way that he acts, the way that he carries himself. He even tells John, listen, if I did something to piss you off, I'm sorry. And he goes, you, Hal Jordan, sorry. Which tells you that this version of Hal is very different from the Hal that we are following in 2016. So now I'm left to wonder what happened in between those 10 years that changed Hal so drastically, that gave him that rough exterior, that turned him into an asshole. And that is what this episode did so well. It made me question and it made me want to know more. And that is a perfect fucking pilot. They ended the episode with the biggest shocker of all. It picks up in 2026 and we see a freaking Justice League animated series, Jon Stewart in his trench coat, turtleneck, meeting up with the sheriff, and they walk into the football stands and we see there a snow-covered corpse sitting, and it's none other than Hal Jordan with a bullet right between the eyes. He grabs his hand, brushes away the snow, and sees that the ring is no longer there. If you pay close attention, you see a single tear come out of his eye, roll down his nose. It's those little acting choices that make it feel so much more real and is so much more in character for Jon Stewart. It was wonderfully done. My wife thinks that's not Hal Jordan. She thinks that it's an alien decoy or something of that sort because she's saying, the ring would know. The ring would know. The ring would have flown to John if he died. And I'm like, yeah, unless they, found a way to contain the ring so that way it can't fly off. They could do that. Or she's right. Right now, I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50. Could be straight up Hal Jordan because I think that if he dies, they're setting up Parallax. That's a story for a different time. I want to know in the comments what you guys think.